Welcome to Take Two with the Rock 95 Morning Crew, the podcast. I'm Craig, Brian, MJ here. Brian and I have been battling off air, our own internal battle about vinyl.
Yeah.
We're not having the best of time with our vinyl.
It's just not for a perfectionist.
It certainly is not.
And you have to be okay with that.
Like, we both have albums that have scratches. They're new albums.
I don't even know if I'd consider it a scratch. I'm open to it being dust or anything.
Yeah, so we're trying to figure out...
You can't visibly see a scratch?
No.
No, you can't. So, I mean, in my youth, I had, several albums, and I never scratched them. And even my old albums, if I play them, they're not scratched. But for whatever reason, when I get a new copy of an album, it's not pressed right, or my player sucks. And it skips.
I know, and it's tough to even go through the battle of figuring that out.
Yeah.
Like, if there's just a way to be like, it's pressed wrong, I'd be like, oh, okay then. But it's not. I don't know.
No idea.
Yeah.
That's just one of the reasons it could be.
That is so frustrating because an album, guys, that's not cheap.
No.
Does your record player play an album perfectly every time?
My record player is fairly new. I've only had an issue with one album, and it's clearly scratched up. But it hasn't happened like with any of the other albums. So.
Right. So
this record is clearly someone got to it.
I got my son a record player, and I thought, he's only got a few albums, and he's not a huge guy to get into vinyl like myself or even my other son. Mm-hmm. But I thought this would be nice because he can play it whenever. And the album that I got him is completely scratched, and it's brand new. Yeah. But when we play it on my son's record, my other son, it's fine.
Yeah, so then it's a mystery. It's the player.
So it's the player, or it's the record is just it's got little tiny flaws in it that it needs a good player to play, or something like that.
I guess so. And is that one sounds like does one record player differ from the other? Is one like older or? Like
I got them all new, right? So I didn't really. They were not hand me downs.
But one could be cheaper, and that means that the needle and the arm could weigh. It's
this is frustrating.
Finicky. How many things it could be.
Yeah, we're ready to just quit the habit.
Yeah, I think this is a bad habit.
I've been collecting records for years, and I've never experienced anything like this. So it's amazing. Like, I've got records that are so old. My mom owned them, and they're hand-me-downs from when she was in, the Beatles albums from the '60s, and there's no scratch.
And they don't. They even if they look a little beat up, they play fine.
Exactly.
So figure that out.
Yeah.
How are you guys handling this? Because I cannot handle it. I guess so.
I turn it off.
We were just in each other's arms for a moment.
Frustrated.
No. Because I get so frustrated when things don't work the way they should.
No.
Like when something breaks down, I cannot relax until it is fixed. And this would drive me absolutely
because you have a few
bonkers.
things that are broken right now.
I got
Your washing machine?
that are broken. Yeah, my washing machine's broken.
So are you antsy about that at the moment?
Yeah, very much so. I need the guy to get the part and head on over right away. It's driving me crazy.
Well, that's just clean clothes. This is vinyl. So
I get it.
Relax, okay?
Do you guys need a hug and a Pop-Tart or something?
Yeah, I think I do. Okay. Yeah. We were talking earlier this week about a record, a company, Miller High Life, has released beer-infused vinyl.
Yeah.
Right, which if you're experiencing any issues like we are, that sounds ludicrous to have a liquid in a vinyl and it would not throw it off. I'm serious. I don't even want it.
Yeah.
Because I can't handle a normal one.
You would think it would weigh the machine down a little bit. It would mess with the arm and everything. But it's a promotion to promote their brand, which is very much into, for whatever reason, dive bars. Right. So they got dive bar music on this vinyl to listen to. Not songs, just, kind of just generic anthems.
You know what? And is that a perfect cop-out for if it skips?
Who cares?
It's a dive bar, baby.
It's supposed to do that.
That's the feel of it.
All of a sudden you hear the record scratch.
That's where you want to hear skips, in a dive bar, right?
That's right.
And then the beer sloshes around as it's spinning. So I think it's kind of cool. Would I want to own it? Maybe. Would I want to play it? No.
You would take it for free.
I would take it for free. I found a list of other records that have unusual things that are pressed inside.
Sure.
Ones that they make the beer one look like a normal thing. So we'll get to that in just a moment. Hang on. Welcome back to Take Two, the Rock 95 Morning Crew. It's Craig, Brian, and MJ. So, vinyl records. I like a good color vinyl record. Red, purple, whatever.
They can be fun.
A picture. I mean, you were telling me the quality's a little less on those particular
That's
albums.
what they say. That's another reason why it could skip, FYI.
They should just stick with like the basic looking one.
The black vinyl.
Well, and the one that I've got is a purple album. It has a little skip in it that bugs me. So maybe that's it. I don't know. Maybe, but I still like the color. I think it's unique to get a special album with some bells and whistles.
It is when
to
you hold
right?
it up to the sun too, or a light. That's when you can see through, and it really looks nice.
I don't think you're going to want any of these. Let me know. Maybe this one might be okay. So these are things that have been pressed into albums in the past. These are the 10 biggest ones that I found, and some of them are very unusual, and some of them are rather disgusting. But the first one is flies, dead flies.
No.
Inside Alice in Chains' jar of flies to commemorate its 30th anniversary. Now, that is a great album.
Great idea. Gross in its completion.
But, I'm kind of cool with it.
Yeah.
None of the other bands are really well known. Well, there's a couple that are fairly known, but this one here, Sleep, and the album is called Dope Smoker. So what do you think's in there?
That's some dope.
Marijuana leaves.
Marijuana leaves? No,
just the leaves.
Wasting perfectly good marijuana leaves.
Well, the leaves you're fine, I feel like.
Yeah. Fall Out Boy had an album, and it was called So Much for Stardust, and they infused their own tears in the album.
To me,
Wait,
it sounds lame.
Yeah.
Only 50 copies were made, and it went for $100.
They couldn't cry so
Sold out
much,
right
so
away.
okay.
I guess not.
I need a piece of their DNA.
Oh, you just wait.
No.
Yeah, I assume we're getting
excited.
closer.
We're getting closer to some real DNA. This one's a little odd. Hellmouth is the name of the band. The album is Gravestone Skylines. They had Bible ashes from an old German Bible from the late 1800s. And I don't know if it was legal to burn it up, but they did that, and they infused it in the album.
They are not religious at all.
No, I wouldn't say so. I'm not going to name the next band because it's too graphic to say, but let's just say they infused their album with menstrual blood.
Yeah, I was waiting for that.
You were waiting for that?
I'm waiting for a couple more, too, to be honest.
180 copies made, and it's just a slight hue of red.
No, we got it, Greg.
On a white album.
I'm good.
Jesus,
the
guy.
picture.
Don't need to describe it anymore.
All right, do you want to know this one? The Beer and Urine album. So beer is not the first time it's been infused in this one, but this one's sloshing around with some urine. The band is called Private Function. And 50 copies of this were made.
And those are the only albums they ever sold, 50 altogether.
Yeah.
So it has urine in there, band's urine.
Yeah.
Yay.
Let's go a little lighter. Liars is the name of the band. Mess on a Mission is the name of the album. They put yarn.
What's the significance?
The significance of yarn, colored yarn it's a record store day exclusive back in 2014. 1,000 copies were made, so it wasn't as limited as some of the other ones. But
it's not as cool as some of the other ones either.
It's also,
I don't care.
I'll take yarn over pee.
It sounds very wholesome to me.
All right.
Yarn.
And you want a wholesome record, do you?
Yeah, I
Nice
do.
wholesome record. Here's another one. Hair and Urine is been infused in an album before.
Yeah, I was waiting
What's
for
with the pee,
hair. I
everybody?
know, but then you lose me on the urine.
Who cares about
I
the
don't
urine?
Now, you know the Flaming Lips?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, they were big at one point. Yeah. Blood of various celebrities in this album. So
Tell me they name the celebrities.
I need to know the celebrity.
Coldplay's Chris Martin.
Ooh.
All right. Kesha,
Right?
Sean Lennon, and Nick Cave. All in there to create a human.
How are they getting the celebrities' blood? I want to know. It's just like they just go up to Chris Martin and they're like, hey, do you mind just like poking your finger? Why? No reason.
I mean, probably not. But
Got to have friends in high places, man. Only 10 copies were made. They sold for $2,500. So,
boy, I mean, could you see that one? Could you see the blood? It must be a colored.
oh yeah, it's completely red. The album is red and actually has a little bit of a sloshing effect to it as well.
Oh, so they got enough blood in there.
They got enough blood in it. So, and here's your final one. I don't know how to pronounce the band. Raw X.
Okay.
Careful. Little diarrhea.
Really?
All right, that wins.
Yes, indeed. So it was a hemorrhoid-infected diarrhea it gave the album a brownish, purplish shade. Purple. Yeah, this person needed to see a doctor.
A little bit of blood.
Yeah, I would say so. And here's the kicker. When you gave it a spin, there was a detectable odor of human feces when played.
So all of a sudden, Yarn's not looking too bad, right?
Listen to Craig, Brian, and MJ, the Rock 95 Morning Crew on Barrie's Rock Station, Rock 95.